Hello everybody, happy Tuesday as usual. I am on a block that we have actually visited before today. So from several weeks ago, we are on a street called Arden, and we looked at that house when we were here before. And you can see there's a bunch of cars that are driving around, agents getting out of their cars to go look at the home that we're going to walk to that is behind me. This house was the one that I just showed across the street. Looks like that again. That we were playing the guessing game for how much would it rent for. And in this particular area, which has and we're back. Hey Daniel, hey Jerusalem, thanks for jumping in. Hey Nicole, nice to see you. I need to hear more about the Princess business as well. So the home that we just saw from across the street, this one we played the guessing game with previously of how much does that home rent for. And it rented for $46,000 a month here in Beverly Hills. And so right across the street, about 3-4 weeks later, is another home that was built in the 1920s, actually 1929. So the reason that I wanted to go and check out this house, and it is private for a showing, so they don't allow for photos or videos on the inside, we just get to see the outside, which is pretty typical for either really secure homes, so if it is someone that is famous or a celebrity or quite well-to-do. And this particular home, hey Esther, is $9.9 million. So we'll get a quick shot of the outside of this house. And I would have loved to have shown you the bathrooms because they haven't touched them since the 1920s. So they've got these curved shower entrances and old pink and blue and yellow tile. But the home looks like this. There's our listing agent, Michael. Thanks for waving. Who's holding the open today. You get a rough idea of the house with this really pretty terracotta tile. Again, in this signature neighborhood. So as we do a quick flyby, hey JW, thanks for jumping in. As we do a quick flyby of this neighborhood, what struck me about this house that I really wanted to jump in is built in 1929. So I don't know about you, but what pops off for me in 1929 is the stock market crash. There's a good friend of mine whose grandfather graduated college in 1929 from an Ivy League school, I think it was either Harvard or Yale, and went right into finance because he wanted to jump in at the bottom, which is probably not a terrible idea. Mr. Ditzler, all the way from Minnesota. Thanks, buddy. So again, we're looking at in this, for a signature street like Arden, which is kind of off the beaten path of the Sunset Strip, you've got this pretty residential area. As you can see, a bunch of people have been walking in and out of this home. So this is a property that is a 5-bed, 6-bath, 5,600 square foot home for a little under $10 million. And it's selling at about $1,700 a square feet. So why, you ask, is it a little bit more expensive than is typical for Beverly Hills? And it's because the area is pretty awesome. Anytime that, I've mentioned this before, but anytime that you get in the flats, the homes have a tendency to be a little more expensive because the yards are bigger. This particular property has a terrace view from the back, a sport court, a pool, and a small little guest house area. So all of those things will add to the value of the property. But again, what's cool is you can see as we walk around this block that the homes are really private and also varied in their design. So you've got all these different architectural styles from Mediterranean to Spanish to colonial to contemporary to English, and that variety is, as they say, somewhat the spice of life. Dave, thanks for jumping in, my friend. So we'll walk down the block and you can see as we even get to a bit of our corner here, we've got just a really normal residential area. Here is a mid-century modern home, literally 3 houses down, and seeing that type of variety and not having to pay for parking on the street, as can be typical in LA, that can be a bit of a difficulty. That last house that we just took a peek in. Jason, how are you? Thanks for grabbing my cell phone number, brother. Touch base anytime. As we get to the corner, you can see some of these sweeping landscapes that we have. And again, this is a residential area that's just a little north of the Sunset Strip, so the accessibility to be able to get back to everything from Rodeo Drive, restaurants, shops, be able to hit downtown Los Angeles or West Hollywood is really, really cool. And the part that, again, that I wanted to pop on specifically was focusing on that home and the stock market crash. So you can see that that home, and we'll do one more quick flyby, was pretty signature for the 1920s. So this area was still rolling in, at best, silent films. So it hadn't, the idea of Hollywood and celebrity was really just taking off. And I love the history of that. I love the idea of being able to kind of feel what this was like almost 100 years ago. Hey Rampy, thanks for jumping in. So if you have any thoughts or ideas about talking a little Beverly Hills or the Depression era in general, especially since we just went through the biggest recession since the Depression, which already, gosh, it was already like 8 years ago, it feels like. So it's unique to be able to look at a property like this and think this was built right during the stock market crash in a major depression. So it says something about this area of the country. And again, here's the home. This area of the country compared to, say, other areas that were harder hit. Hey James, thanks for jumping in. Yeah, Jason, it is a great area for under 10 million. So the average price in Beverly Hills is a little under 3.5 million. So to be able to see a property like that and this and what they are selling for, this just shows something a little bit about the block. So as always, for all things real estate, Jason, absolutely. It's my pleasure to be able to share these properties. I pop in on every Tuesday and go live, and we walk around a different area of Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, or LA. So if there's ever a property that you want to see, or an area that you want to take a look at, or a question that you have about either this market or anything real estate, that's what I'm here for. I would love to be able to connect. So share your thoughts, your comments, share this video with other people that you think they may find it helpful. And if you've got any ideas or things you want to go over, this is the place to touch base. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Have a great rest of the day. I will be back live from Minnesota on Thursday for a brief Ask Erik Some Real Estate Questions. So until then, thanks as always for tuning in. Jeremy, how's it going, brother? Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and I will connect with you again very soon. Signing off.